know what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 How it all works.
We can tell what's important to us by looking at where we spend our time and money. In our family budget, there's a line item for personal development, which corresponds with time allocated on our calendars every month. Books, webinars, conferences, mastermind groups, coaching, and of course, self-paced online courses in subject areas that we want to strategically grow in. Here at How It All Works, We would love to be part of your personal development. We have a growing catalog of free resources available on YouTube, and we're excited to add to them self-paced online courses through our website, kirkrnugent.com/courses. There you'll find training specific to live streaming platforms, live video strategy for remote producers. You'll also find our mastermind group membership, which is a great partner to any of the courses you register for. Thanks to our sponsors, our prices are very reasonable, and we're posting new products every month. Visit today and let's figure out how it all works. What up? Haha. Always good to be back in the place. For those that are catching this live right now, I want to say a word of thanks to you. For those that are catching it on the replay, I want to say a word of thanks to you as well. It's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. I believe that your live stream, this, what I'm doing right now, is your digital storefront. Because there's no greater way for people to experience your greatness than to see you do it live. You remember Main Street, back in the day. There was Main Street America, right? Main Street USA, or Main Street, whatever city or country you're in, right? And in Main Street, you had these shops on both sides, and you had the windows there. You'd put your items that were on sale, your items that you knew were the best, that your items that nobody couldn't touch you on, those things, you put them in the storefront, like in that window, in that display. You put them there because as people walked by, even if they weren't mindful, right? Even if they weren't thinking about purchasing from you, even if they didn't think they needed that thing, just because they saw it on display, they saw it in your storefront, they said to themselves, man, that's a really good idea. That's something I might need. That's something that I could possibly use at some point in time. And that is what live streaming can be for your business, for your brand, for your hustle, for your book, right? For my authors, coaches, consultants, for your product that you want to launch. Your live stream can be that. It could be your digital storefront. There's no Main Street anymore. My kids are talking to other students across the globe, right? There's no Main Street anymore because the internet has kind of flattened that thing. It's made Main Street the internet. And so you set up your live stream as your digital storefront so that people can see what you have to offer. They can experience you doing your thing live, and they don't need the sales campaign. They don't need the ads. They don't need the flyer. They don't need anything else. They've gotten a full taste test from your live show, and now they're ready to buy. They don't want another appetizer. They want a full meal. Do you want more people to come to you for a full meal? Do you want more people to come to you for your business, for your product, for your services, right? For the things that you're launching? I believe that your live stream can do that for you, regardless of what it is. You want to meet more people in your industry, in your area of expertise? Set up a podcast, create a web show. This is where you get a chance to not only broadcast your greatness, but give other people an opportunity to broadcast their greatness too. Here's the truth. The people who have the shows have a platform. They have a commodity that they can market. These are some of the things we want to talk about this month in terms of live video strategy. And I wanted to just jump right in today with that. I see we got 7 of you guys watching. Nobody wants to chat in the chat today. That's okay. That is okay. But I wanted to dive right in, right at the outset. I want to give value for those that decided to come in early, for those that decided to click the link, for those that decided to show up, even though, yes, we've had a nice long summer break and folks are off of the schedule. My normal crew has kind of filled this time frame with something else. I warn people about this all the time. I'm a coach where this stuff is concerned, right? I'm a coach. Have you heard the new Ecamm news? I definitely have, David. And I would like to touch on that. I would love to touch on that. But yeah. Have you heard the new Ecamm news? Yes. Yes, I've been monitoring. What's good? What's good, Kerwin Bornell? What's good? Soul Vid says, what's good, Kirk? What's good? What's going on? I'm glad to see you guys are hanging out with us today. Love to see the comments coming through in the chat. But this one right here, yeah, David Harvey, you're gonna get me in trouble. I would love to touch on this, but I can't touch on it right now. It's gonna throw off my entire vibe. Come on Wednesday. Let's chat. Let's chat on Wednesday. What's good, Seesaw Studios? Always good to see you in the place. Kerwin, one of my mods, thank you so much for coming through. Whenever you see that blue wrench out there, man, we almost want to just do a drop a bomb for those guys because they're so dope. They just do such a phenomenal job of helping me out, keeping me on target. But yeah. Listen, this is what it's all about. Live video. All of these things are tools. Some people tell me, oh man, Kirk, listen, StreamYard is it, Kirk. I don't want to hear about anything else. And I'm like, yo, if you can get it done with StreamYard, I don't have no problem with that. And some people are like, oh man, Kirk, thank you so much for showing me EV Mux. I've been looking for something that's not quite StreamYard, but I don't want to do Ecamm because I don't have a Mac or I don't want to install something on my computer. I need blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Hey, listen, EV Mux is cool and as well. I mean, I don't have a preference. Here's what I have a preference about. I want to see you start your live show. I want to see you go from dream to reality. I want to see you set goals and achieve them. I want to see you, listen, in the chat right now, we haven't even gotten into our announcement section, but in the chat right now, for those of you that, the 11 of you that decided to show up, for the 11 of you that are here with me right now, just go ahead and listen. We'll call this a free coaching session. Go ahead and put in the chat right now. What is your primary goal that you want to achieve with live video, with your podcast, with your show, whatever you're using these platforms for? Because if you follow me, you probably are using one of these streaming platforms. If you're a subscriber on my channel, you probably have a microphone or a Rodecaster Pro or a camera of some sort. You're probably recording content. You're probably developing an audience. I don't know. I would imagine that you have designs on utilizing live video to reach your goals. So I want you to put in the chat one goal that you want to achieve with video. Just one goal. Is anybody brave enough out there? While you guys are contemplating whether or not you want to type it, while you are trying to formulate your goals, because you never thought about this before, I'm going to go ahead and jump into our announcement section because we got a couple of them that I want to share with you guys. And I'm excited for the 13 of you that have decided to come through and hang out with us today. As you can see on the screen, we have a packed month for you guys, man. We are going to have, we had our welcome back session last week. We are doing defining your brand today, build your community next Monday, automate, scale, monetize that the fourth Monday, and then the last Monday of the month, right after my birthday, organic partnerships and sponsorships. This is a power-packed month. You don't want to miss this month. And then next month, we're going to get into our schedule. Somewhere around the third Monday or maybe even the final Monday of the month, I will share with you what the schedule for September, October, November is going to look like because we're working on all of those pieces right now. So your bag is the first to take me up on the offer, right? Actually, no. Let me take that back. I said it too quickly because David Harvey has put his in the comments as well. I'm going to star both of those. I'm going to come back to those in just a second. I want to just run through. I only have 4 slides here, so this is going to be real quick. So this is our lineup for the month. The next thing that I want to share with you is that our membership has moved. I shared this last week. I want to make sure that I keep sharing this. I don't want people to get it mixed up. We were using buymeacoffee.com/KirkRNugent for our support page and our membership and everything like that. We've moved it to Kajabi on my website. So if you go to KirkRNugent.live/member, that'll take you to the support page. If you go to KirkRNugent.live/coffee, that'll take you to the support page. If you go to KirkRNugent.live/support, that'll take you to the support page. All of them are the same page, and we have redirected all of our links, even on our YouTube videos, to this page. This is where you can do all of the things, okay? All of the things. What things am I talking about? Let me let me show you. Oh, that's the one I was looking for. Here it is on the screen right next to me. This is the support page. So on the support page, you can do one-time support, you can do monthly support, you can do, listen, how many, 13 of you guys out there, you can buy gear, you can buy a t-shirt like the one I have on. There's a blessing in coming on the live. If you've been rocking with me long enough to know what that means, go ahead and put that in the chat. Go ahead and put it in the chat. What does it mean to be that? What does it mean that there's a blessing in coming on the live? Go ahead and put that in the chat. But you can also listen. This is some of the things that guys have been asking about. People have been like, hey, does your team do video editing for others? The answer is yes. I have a team because I'm a remote producer. I do shows for clients. I have a team that does graphic design and video editing. And so I'm offering some of those services. We're not trying to get, we're not trying to derail some of the stuff we're doing for clients, but we can within reason take on some little projects here or there. So if you want to purchase some of those services, they're all on this page. Of course, you can also become a show sponsor as well. We wanted to just make sure you guys had that because we don't want you to miss it. We don't want you to miss it. I see So Your Bag and David Harvey. We're coming to those comments in just a second. This is our latest video from our Amazon Live. We got the new white noir Shure MV7 microphone, and we had a good time testing it out the other day. If you were in that test, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you were present. My Facebook is acting weird today. Kerwin says, if you were present for this show, right? I'm pointing the wrong way. If you were present for this show, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. We want to see who all was there. 14 of you guys on the live right now. Loving it. But this was David Harvey put a 1 in the chat. There we go. We got a 1 in the chat. That's what I like to see. We had a really good time. We tested 4 or 5 different Shure microphones. I'm not going to tell you what the results were. You're going to have to go check out that video for that. And if you want to find the latest and greatest from How It All Works, all you got to do is go to howitallworks.com. What website do you think that is? Okay, here it is. It's on the screen right now. This is actually howitallworks.com. That's what's on the screen right here. And as I scroll down, you not only see today's video, like this is the video that we are live on today. If I click this, you're going to see me live on this page. I'm not going to click it. But then also last week's video, the State of Live video plus Q&A, we did a 2.5-hour session. It was absolutely phenomenal. What a way to get welcome back. And then of course, the Shure MV7 White Noir podcast microphone special edition. All of these are on this page. All of our latest videos are on this. David Harvey said the Oreo mic. Look at that. See, if you want to understand what that is, you're going to have to go ahead and check out that video. So I wanted to make sure you guys see that. We get those announcements out there. State of Live video, as I mentioned, 2.5-hour session from last week. That was absolutely phenomenal. We had a great time with that. And tonight we're going to be talking about defining your brand. We're going to be talking about defining your brand. And I'm excited about what we're going to get into. And with that said, let's dive in. So we had 2 people who were brave enough to answer our question, right? And I put the question on the screen because I want to make sure that people who are catching the replay, and maybe you are just tuning in right now, I don't want to just repeat it. I want to put it on the screen for you. What do you want your podcast or web show or social media content to achieve? All right. And there's a secondary question. There's a secondary question there. There's a secondary question for those that haven't figured. There is a secondary question. The secondary question is, have you written that down? Other than typing it in the chat on my show right now, have you written this down? All right. So let's get a couple of these questions real quick. All right. Let's go here. Let's go to favorites. There we go. All right. So Your Bag was first. I'm going to throw that one up on screen. So Your Bag says, get recognized as an expert in my niche. Okay. So Your Bag, the comment's going to go away in just a second, but so now you have identified what success looks like. Now you have identified what you want from your live show. I want my live show to help me get recognized as an expert in my niche. This is perfect. In fact, this is the type of content I like to work with the most because by and large, what you're saying is I am an expert in my niche. Am I saying it? So correct me if I'm wrong, So Your Bag, but I am an expert in my niche. And because I am an expert in my niche, I want to be recognized as an expert in my niche. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide value for those in my niche. I want to be one of those voices that is helping people understand what the landscape is in my particular industry, my particular vocation. I want to make sure that not only people come to me for understanding the landscape, learning the ins and outs, tips, tricks, best practices. Okay. Number 3, you also want to be a go-to voice, which means you not only want to be on your show, you want to get invitations to other shows as well. You want to be invited not only to be on people's shows, you want to be on stages. You want to get on stages so you can share because you are an expert in your niche. Now, so your bag has already responded saying you are correct. You are correct. So what we've got to do, so your bag, is now that you have identified this is the end goal, this is what success looks like. Now we want to work backward. So my assumption, don't throw me under the bus. My assumption is that you set this as your goal because currently this is not the case. Like right now, you are not widely, let me put widely in there, widely recognized as an expert in your niche. Come on and talk to me. Right now, this is not currently happening. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. So your bag, get your pen and paper out. This is what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to identify 3 people who are in your niche who are identified as experts. I want you to identify 3 people who are in your niche who your entire industry recognizes as experts in the space. And once you've identified those 3 people, I want you to do something for me. You identify 3 of them. Hopefully you can mix, hopefully they're not all male. Hopefully they're different genders, different backgrounds, demographic, social, economic makeup, all of those things. I want a broad sampling if you have, but 3 different people that are in your niche who are recognized. All right. Once you identified those 3 people, you've written down those 3 names. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to do a deep dive on all of them. What is their origin story? How did they come from where they are to where they were? They clearly were not always known as experts. So how did they get there? Somebody said success leaves clues. You can follow those breadcrumbs to where you want to be. Identify those 3 people, look at their origin stories, understand what they did, what happened. Was it in their control? Did they have something go viral? Was there an existential crisis? Did they have something happen? Did a business implode? Usually you'll find that there's something else that has propelled them to where they are today. You want to identify what those paths look like and look at your own story and begin teasing out, because they're there. We just have to make sure the world knows that they're there. Look at your story and begin teasing out from your story the things that are specific and unique that give you credibility in your space. Highlight those things. Write them down. And once you have them written down, that becomes your entire show format. Not format, sorry. Schedule. That becomes you want to make those topics as small as you possibly can. If a topic's going to take you more than a half hour to cover, break it in 2, because you want to make that your entire content schedule for the remainder of the year. Make that your entire content schedule for the remainder of the year. And then once you put that content out there, now there's so much other pieces here. I'm fully in coach mode right now, and I've got to pull some things back. I got to keep some things for the paid clients. No, but But there are some other intangibles that you want to put around that thing. But the idea is simply this. Their story isn't more unique than yours. Their story's just known. Their story is not more unique than yours. Their story is simply known. Your live stream is your digital, I'm hitting my mic, your digital storefront. People can come up and like, oh man, that's what, is that his bag? Is that his story, her story? Is that how they, oh wow. Unique perspective. See, somebody can argue with me about whether or not this light is a good light. When we're talking about it on paper, when we're talking about it in the abstract. But when I go live and I show what my light looks like when I'm live, people don't ask me whether or not it's a good light. They ask me, what light is it? Because I want to buy it. You just need to get your story out there. You need to have your experiences known so that people will say, people will seek out your opinion amongst the other experts because they know your particular perspective comes with this wide breadth of a unique and specific experience. I'm going to leave y'all alone tonight. I'm going to leave you all alone tonight. Me. I don't count. me and me. I don't count for this exercise. All right, let me get this going. David Harvey is next. David Harvey's comment was next. David Harvey was the second brave person. We only had 3 brave people tonight, and I'm taking these 3 and I'm going to move on. We're going to go to defining your brand. Okay, where are we at in my time? 27 minutes into the show already. So David Harvey's comment has already gone off the screen. I'm going to put it back up one more time. My number 1 goal is to become a full-time content creator. I love this. David Harvey. Your live stream is making yourself visible to others seeking your specific content. Speak not just your content, your specific perspective. Your specific perspective in your niche. So how many other African-American by way of the Caribbean content creators do you know who is Christian, whose background is in information technology, up to and including leadership, and has done a stint as a missionary for 4 years in South Africa? This is a very specific lane. Can't nobody be better than me in my lane. This is why we must do the work of mining the gold in our stories. Mine it. It's work. I always say this to, one of the things I do whenever we start coaching, I always say to folks, if you think this is going to be a walk in the park, like I've got some magic formula that we're going to just write down and you're going to follow it and you're going to have gold every single time, please leave now. I will give you a refund. I want to work with people who recognize like this joint's going to take work. Because the value you have to add to the world, the value you have to share with the world isn't a skill set. There's a million content creators. A million folks talking about live video and live streaming and coaching and all this. What do I bring to the table? What I bring to the table is me. Kirk Nugent is Kirk Nugent's highest commodity because there is none other. And I'm not saying that because there's something special about me, even though there is something special about me. I'm saying that because you also have that it thing. The valleys, the mountaintops, all of the experiences that culminate together to create the story of your life gives you a unique perspective that causes you to see life through the lens of your story. People want to hear what it looks like, what it sounds like from your perspective. That's how it all works. Man, Gary Jones is in the comments doing his good work. I want to touch on, I see your comment, Solvids, I see your comment. I'm going to go ahead and star that. I see that you put a question in front of it. You're so obedient, even though we didn't even ask you to do that. We appreciate you for doing that. Let me see if I can answer David Harvey's question real quick here. Okay. My number one goal is to become a full-time content creator. So here's the thing, David Harvey, get out your pen and paper. Here's the thing. Quantifiable numbers. What is it going to take financially for you to become a full-time content creator? My wife and I have a number in our heads that we know that number monthly is what takes care of our home. We do not divide that number in two. We each are working individually towards that number every month. If you don't have quantifiable evidence, here's my number. This is what I need. I mean, listen, some people y'all not trying to hear what I'm saying. We had a 2019 Honda Accord. They called us. They said, "Hey, would you be interested in selling your car? Bring it in for an assessment." I said, "What are they going to offer us?" We went in for the assessment. They appraised the car. They said, "We'll pay you this number." That number that they said is $8,000 more than we have left to pay on the car. We sold it. We sold it and got, not because we wanted the $8,000. We sold it because we wanted to get rid of the payment. Once we get rid of the payment, guess what? The number decreases. It's not always going to be David Harvey, I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. It's not always going to be about how do I earn this number? No, you want to be a full-time content creator. You need to know your number and understand that you are in control of the rise and fall of that number. The amount that I need per month just went down by $500. The number in my head that I'm working towards every month with my content, with my remote production, with my business, with my services, with my products that I'm selling, the amount that I need to hit just went down. The amount that I can save has gone up. If you want, come on, David Harvey. If you want to be a full-time content creator, you need to know your number. You need to have evidence-based data that says I'm able to bring in a consistent amount of money in these ways. And if you're thinking that it's going to be YouTube and Amazon and whatever else, please think again. Those are nice to haves. You need specific avenues for income. The Everyday Millionaire has over 40 streams of income. Streams of income that are making them money even while they sleep. You want to be a full-time content creator? It's not just about having sponsors for your shows. It's not just about getting the brand deals. Because if you do that, trust me, I don't know that, David, I don't know you'll be happy because you'll be tap dancing for your money every single time. I want to have the ability to say to this brand, I'm not working with you because your stuff is trash. But when you know I have this number in my head and I haven't hit that number this month, you're not going to turn down that brand deal. I'm giving you the nitty gritty. I'm keeping it a stack. This is what life is like as a full-time entrepreneur. I don't believe that there is such a thing as a full-time content creator because content creators have multiple streams of income. So how do we say then that they're a full-time content creator? Not all of the money that I make is off of my content. But what I can guarantee you this, is that my content is my top discovery and referral tool. So even if I don't get paid for going live right now, this interaction that we're having right here, where you're able to ask a question, I am able to share with you, is causing somebody to say, where can I sign up for this guy? What, hold up. If he's giving out that kind of thing, you get my point. Full-time content creation, you need to understand all of the things that you have to offer and how can I monetize them? I asked my kids this the other day. I'm like, okay, you want to do that? You want to do this? You want to be that? Why would somebody pay you for it? Ask yourself the question and make sure you have a solid answer, because that solid answer becomes your whole advertising scheme. Why would somebody pay you for that service, for that product, for your content? Why? Once you understand that piece, you can become a full-time content creator. All right, that's David Harvey's. Let me see if I can get this last one from Kerwin Bornell, and then we'll get Solvid's question. So Kerwin says, build a community pertaining to the relevant information / content. Build a community pertaining to relevant information and content. So for you, the ultimate goal is to build this community, to have this place where people are able to get relevant information and content. I love that, Kerwin. This is the old adage that says seek to serve. Seek to be the cheat code or the pain reliever for, oh, that thing is so good. Diana Gladney posted the other day, your content should be the pain reliever for your audience. It should be a solution. Like their head is hurting. They're like, oh, let me find Diana's videos. Oh, let me find David videos. Oh, my knee is aching me. Let me find Kerwin Bornell's videos. And this is my pain reliever. Seeking to serve builds community. Seeking to serve builds community. What is the question that we're supposed to answer now? Kirk, what's the question we're supposed to answer now? No. The what I asked people to put in the chat was, what do you want your podcast or web show or social media content to achieve? What is your number one goal? Like, this is the top thing I want my content to achieve. And what we just read off are the three answers of three brave people that put in the chat what they want their content to achieve. And I believe that we were able to give them a starting point. We're not going to be able to give you the whole thing in an hour-long show, but I believe we're able to give them a starting point that's going to help them along their way. I want to grab this one last question, and I want to dive into defining your brand. It's not a whole lot of content on this one. We've done the heavy lifting for defining your brand before, and so I want to make sure that you guys get a chance to check out that video. But here we're just going to do some review, and I want to add one particular critical piece. And so here Solvids is asking the question, what are your thoughts on Patreon? I think Patreon, listen, I think any way that you can give your audience opportunities to support you is good. Any way that you can get your audience to continue to be a regular supporter. If Patreon enables you to do that, do that. One of the things I love about Patreon is that it is integrated right there into YouTube, and you can you have a lot of options there. But there are some cons with Patreon, and you need to know those. I'm not going to go do all the work for you. You got to know what those cons are, because my cons may not be your cons. So you've got to, go through, do your homework, put it through its paces, figure out, is this going to work for me or is it not? I personally wanted a lot more control over how people, how it was engaging with my audience. I didn't want to go through an intermediary anymore. Didn't want to go through Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, even though I do plan on opening YouTube memberships. I do plan on doing super thanks and super likes and all those things. I'm going to open those up. We're going to open those up. My base form of membership will be in YouTube membership. I want to open those up. I don't know that I'm going to do Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee, but YouTube membership allows me to monetize the content right there where you guys are, like where you're watching right now. I hope that makes sense. And I'm glad for your question. I'm going to catch a couple of these other comments here. Looks like we got some good comments. Good advice. Ben Anthony says, peace, Bo. What's going on, sir? Appreciate you for coming through. Let me see what else we got here. David Harvey says, goodbye, debt. Sure enough. Get rid of it. Yes, correct. Showing up and being consistent is the vehicle for success. Kerwin Bornell says, it's about knowing how to be in demand with quality information needed by the seeker and allowing the algorithms, plural, to help you. So to help your content be found by the people who are seeking it, by the people who need it most. The name of the game is staying in demand. I like it. Gary Jones is doing some great work in the comments. He said, let's get those likes up. Come on, y'all. I don't know what the likes are at. I haven't looked at it, but I know we can do better. I know we can get a couple of likes in there. We got 14 people watching the live tonight. Here's what I want to say to you real quick. Defining your brand, just as a review, defining your brand. Some people think that your brand is your energy level. Some people think it's if you're real crazy and it's high energy and you got sound effects, you got all kinds of stuff going off at different points in time. People think that that's part of your brand, and it can be part of your brand if that is you. If that is you, if high energy is you, then that could be a part of your brand. If low energy, if you're just a chill person, I don't want to say low energy because that's got a bad connotation recently, but if you're just a chill person, you're laid back. I'm not going to be the guy that's going to be, high-fiving and jumping up and down and throwing over tables. If that's not you, your brand is you. So you got to show up comfortable in your own skin. You got to show up comfortable in your own skin. So your brand, in terms of an energy level, isn't something that you put on. Hey, I want my brand to be high energy. Okay, then find a high energy host. Because if you're not high energy, then your brand is not high energy. Make sense? Some people look at your colors, your logo, your show title, even your slogan, and they believe that this is branding, right? Stuff like this, right? There's a blessing in coming on the live. If you know me and you've been following my content for any portion of time, then you already know what this shirt is all about. And you know that that's part of my brand. I want to create a space where people who have what's going on, Simply Obs, where people who have a specific thing to offer the world can show up unapologetically doing their best. I want to flip the tables on this. I don't want to outshine anyone. Let me be clear. I love track and field. I just finished watching CrossFit Games literally yesterday, and I'm shouting to the top, to the mountaintops for Justin Medeiros and Tia Claire Toomey and CrossFit Mayhem, led by Rich Froning. I'm like, these guys are not pulling back for anyone. They're doing their best. That's what this shirt is all about. That's part of my brand. I want to make sure that people know it's okay for you to be confident and not be cocky. It's okay for you to be certain of the value you have to offer in these spaces. Because if you're trying to dial it back, it's not going to work. Nobody's coming to you. You've got to be a certain level. You want to become an authority figure, a leader in your niche. Ain't nobody coming to you if you don't seem certain of your own stuff. So your brand isn't necessarily your energy level, isn't necessarily your color, your logo, your title, your slogan. The brand is the things that you're known for. It's the things that you know for sure. What's going on, Lakia Lewis? It's the things that you know for sure you absolutely will do and absolutely will not do. what are you synonymous with? Like when you think of Lakia J. Lewis, what do you think of? Like ask your friends, your community, what do you think of when you think of me? I hope when you think of me, you think of live video. I hope when you think of me, you think of high quality. I hope so. I hope so. I hope that when you think of me, you think of a good time. You think of learning. You think of it's possible to have humility in there too. Right? I hope that when you think of me, you think of somebody who is seeking to serve. Because my goal, one of my top overarching goals, is to see everyday people who have gold in their story, recognize it, and put it out there on display for all to not only see, but to take advantage of. You've got a book in you. You have services. You have, oh my goodness, solutions that people are waiting on. Your experience could be the cheat code for an entire generation. And I want you to realize that that's me. That's me. Your brand is kind of sort of your why. People should know that you show up for this. Like for Kirk, for Kerwin, for who else? David Hunt, for Lakia, for JP High Tech. They show up for XYZ. That's them all day, every day. Lakia says Tech Guru. Kerwin says Geek Speaker Preacher. Kerwin says the answer, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Your brand is what you're synonymous with. Your brand is what you're synonymous with. So what are you synonymous with? How do you find that out? What if, come on, David, what if what you think your brand is, no one else gets? What if what you believe your brand to be, everyone else sees your brand as something else? This is why I say that there is a work to do in understanding the gold of your story. This is why I say phrases like you need to get a PhD in you. Because you are your highest commodity, most prized. And as you give of yourself to others, you'll find success. You get to put yourself in the driver's seat as an expert, as a thought leader, right? In a particular space because of your lived experience. Because of your lived experience, because of the things that have transpired in your life that allow you to have the perspective that you currently have. When people talk about intellectual property, they're talking about their brand. I see JP High Tech. Listen, anytime we talk about brand, JP High Tech shows up. I love it. Your brand tells and shows people why and how you do what you do. Come on, JP. I love it. The idea that there is, I can choose branding. I mean, like I can choose, like, I like this color. I like that color. I want the font this way. I want that font to be a part of my brand. I want my brand to be fun and high energy and exciting. I want to destroy that myth I want you to leave this live understanding this. This is the piece that we didn't give you in the last session that I want to make sure you guys get today in the few minutes that we have remaining. Your brand is you. So get to know you. Here's a free piece of advice. I hope somebody does this right now. I hope somebody does this right now. Go and purchase your domain, your name as a domain right now. Go do it right now. Go search for seesawstudios.com right now. Go search for, I already know JP High Tech already has this domain, so I'm not going to say nothing. Go search for David Hunt right now. Go search for Lakia Lewis right now. Go search for Kerwin Bornell right now. Go search for yourname.com right now. Go search for simplyobs.com. Go search for GaryJonesJr.com, KerwinBornell.com, DavidHarveyOfficial.com. Go search for it right now. Go search for it. Go search for it. Purchase it if it's available. Purchase every iteration of it. It's your piece of real estate on the World Wide Web. What you put on that space, JP says, oh, yes, of course. What you put on that space is going to be determined by what you've learned about you. David Hardy says, I already own it. I love it. I was working with a executive. This guy is getting ready to retire. And he's like, man, Kirk, I want to start a live show because I feel like I have so much value to offer. And I don't really have a space within which to offer that value to people, because I know that it can be of great help to them in their journey, in their life, in whatever it is that they're doing. And I was like, this is the perfect scenario. Guy's an executive of a Fortune 500 company. He's getting ready to retire in the next 2 years, and he wants to start this live show to have his own space. This guy has spoken on stages, flown across the world. He's been in boardrooms. He's seen things seldom seen by the average person. He wants to now start sharing that content with the world. My first question to him was, do you own your web domain? He's like, no. I said, when you leave this company, where will people find you? He doesn't have a YouTube channel. He's got a LinkedIn account that's managed by somebody else. He doesn't even know how to work it. People could be sending him messages right now. He doesn't know. I'm saying all of this to say the other mechanical pieces of branding come into play when you recognize the value you have to offer. The gentleman, my new client, he understands the value he has to offer, which is the reason why he came seeking me out, to help guide him into creating a platform and a space where he can provide people easy access to that value. Now we must get the things, all the things, so that he can establish his presence literally forever. Forever. I'm almost at a point where I feel like I'm if I say any more, I'm going to give too much away. But the idea of branding, man, I don't even. I want to make it as simple as possible. Some people say I want my brand to be excellence, and I ask them, are you excellent? It's not rocket science, yo. Like, I want my brand to be, I don't know, high quality. I ask them, are you high quality? What? Like we're 1 week before your event, and you're calling me to see if I can produce it, and you want your brand to be high quality. You want your brand to be excellence. There's a disconnect. You want your brand to be purple, but I never see you wear purple. It's not that purple has to be your everything. There's got to be a reason for why you've picked your colors, why you do the things that you do. For me, there's a whole story behind the how it all works purple, right? There's a whole story there. There's a hex code that goes along with that. These are the technical pieces. Once you've solidified the story is the cheat code. The story is what draws people in. The story is the content. The story is what will cause people to be like, I wonder if he put out another video. I wonder if she's going to do another live show. Somebody said to me over the course of the break, all right, we took a break, over the course of the summer. Somebody said to me, one of the things I realized over the course of the summer, when your show wasn't there, it clicked in my mind that you don't have to show up. That you choose to show up, regardless of however many people show up. You, Kirk, choose to show up. And I booked this session and paid the full fee because I wanted to let you know that I appreciate you showing up. And when you are not there on a much needed break, you are missed. I really appreciated that. What he was saying is consistency is part of your brand. Consistent. You want your brand to be consistency, to be stable, to be firm foundation. Are you consistent? Are you stable? Are you firm foundation? It's not. People think that the branding thing is very difficult to understand. No, it's not. Your brand, simply put, your brand is you. And the better you can define you, the more clearly people will see your brand. They will seek it out. They will hear 500 other opinions and come to hear yours because they know what your brand is. Your brand is critically important in the whole architecture of live video strategy. Ask 5 people this question. I'm not going to put it on screen. If you're watching the replay, if you're watching live with us right now, I want you to catch this question. Ask 5 people this question, and we're done. When you think of me, what comes to mind? Ask 5 honest people. Don't ask 5 people who are going to just throw you under the bus for the sake of throwing you under the bus. I'm talking about people who have your best interest in mind, but do not see you as one to be coddled, as one to be pandered to. Or they're just going to be, oh, I think of you like this. Ask 5 people. And if you can't think of 5 people who will do that for you, then go ahead and send me an email at info@howitallworks, and I'll tell you. If I can do some sleuthing, if I can do some behind the scenes, if I can look at some of your content, if I can check through some of the stuff that you have available online, I will send you back a message and say, either I couldn't really find much, so I don't know how to respond, or I'll say, here's what when I think of you, and now that I've gone through and done my homework, this is what I see. Ask 5 people. When my name comes up, what immediately comes to mind? Or the flip is when a situation happens, let's say he's like, oh man, I'm trying to figure out this live stream. What does when something happens and my name immediately comes to mind, what was that thing that happened? It's the same question. You're just helping them to understand what you're looking for. Was that knee jerk, like, oh shoot, call David Hunt. Oh, tech and music? Oh, call David Hunt. Oh, engineering? Kerwin Bornell. Trust me. Branding? JP High Tech. I'm using these as examples, but I'm sharing this with you as well to say, these are the questions that we need to ask that will help you on the journey of understanding you. David Harvey says, that's a new service for you, Kirk. YouTube channel audit. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Listen, fam, good evening, Darius. Okay, thank you so much for coming through. I have stayed. I've already overstayed my welcome. I want to say a word of thanks to the 20 of you that are hanging out with us tonight. This was our session on defining your brand, but we also got a chance to ask everyone some very probing questions. This is August. I often say this to people. The success you will experience in 2023, it begins here. Q3, Q4, 2022. And so I asked everyone, what is your number one goal for your live show, for your web show, for your podcast, for your content that you're putting out on social media? What is the number one goal? And 3 brave souls gave me answers, and we went through systematically to work backward from the goal to where they are now so that they can identify what steps they need to take next. I'm challenging you. Same thing I said to the 3 them, I'm saying to all of you, even as we close. Daryl Eves charges $500 for a channel audit. My goodness, that's a serious amount of money. I'm saying this to all of you, and I hope that it resonates. I hope that it hits home. As you do the hard work of understanding your story, understanding what you bring to the table, understanding what makes you uniquely you, and mining the gold from it. I'm working with a person right now who there's all kinds of things in their background, domestic violence, abuse, all kinds of things. That's their story. They don't have a choice on some of the things that has happened, past tense, to them, but they have found the different points and nuggets out of their story. They recognize that I can speak to somebody who's going through this because I have this in my story. Your story will help you not only identify your superpower, the thing that you can share with folks that no one can take away, but it will also help you identify who that person is. Next week, we're going to be talking about building community. Building community. Today, we talked about defining your brand. Last week, we had our welcome back session. But next, we're going to be talking about building community. And that community is going to be an extension of your brand. It's going to be an extension of your lived experiences, because your lived experiences give you credibility to share with those who have similar lived experiences too. 20 of you guys hanging out on the live. I'm gonna extend this thing just another few minutes to see if there's any questions as we get ready to land this plane. Okay. I'm just reading some comments here as well. I see Savage Scientist says, so Savage Scientist says, the first comment was, Daryl Eves charges $500 for a channel audit, so I would be happy to spend $20 on your channel audit. $20. That, I don't know if that was meant to be a compliment or a put down. I don't know, but I'm just going to smile at that comment. Lakia is saying, what's up to Darius? Gary and David, thank you guys so much for putting those in the comments. Ben Anthony says, I will tune in. thanks for your work, bro. Much appreciated. Come join us next week. We're going to be talking about building community. Fam, 8 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone. We're right at the ending point. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. But I want to just thank you guys. What you have given me tonight is one of the best things you could ever give somebody who's on a live show, and that is your time. Your time is of critical importance. Yeah. Your time is of critical importance, and you gave that time to me freely tonight. Your attention and your time, your responses in the chat have made this experience more than it could have ever been if I was just sitting here talking into the camera with no responses. So I just want to say a word of appreciation to you guys for that, and excited about the space that we're in. Of course, you guys all know there are ways that you can join the community. Their links are in the chat. There are ways that you can have your own one-on-one coaching sessions, but you can also join us for our live show on Wednesday, right? We got another live show on Wednesday at 12:30 Central Standard Time. That's 1:30 from our folks in the East. That is 10:30 from our folks out West. And that's when we're going to be doing our studio reviews. If you send your pictures to info@howitallworks.com, you may actually end up on the show. Your picture will end up on the show, and we will talk about the different things you have in your studio. We'll give you tips, tricks, best practices on how to shift things around and get it set up in a way that makes the best sense. But we want to do these things because our goal is to see you succeed. To see you succeed with video. To see you take what you have to offer the world, the value, immense, ridiculous, incredible value that you have to offer the world, and share it on a platform that allows the most amount of people to take advantage of it. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher, thanking you for your time and attention, and we'll see you in the next video. Later, fam.